Girl, if somebody is in your neck, tell them to get out of here. We've had 8 markets.
8 markets.
8 markets.
And 13 giveaways. So we started at Faithful Central in Inglewood in February.
And then our next market was on Melrose.
Then we went to Malibu.
And then we went to
Crenshaw. Yeah, we were in front of
Earl's.
Earl's on Crenshaw.
Then June was Faithful Central again for Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, we did on Juneteenth at Faithful Central in Inglewood.
July was just a produce giveaway.
Yeah, and we had that giveaway at Band Devices in Mid-City.
And then August was, where was August? Compton.
Oh yeah, because that was Black Business Month.
Yep.
We had our month-long scavenger hunt and we ended it in Compton.
Yeah. September was
Mid-City.
Mid-City.
Yeah, we were at New Life in Mid-City.
And then October was
grand
Beehive,
finale.
the Beehive in South LA. Completing the first year feels amazing, and also like kind of like a huge relief, like we did it.
Yeah.
Like this thing that was just a conversation one day, we've now had like a whole year of beta testing everything that we talked about.
Yeah, and it's really interesting that the first year was like, okay, let's try this. All right, we'll try that. Let's see what happens. It was really just a lot of just like doing something and seeing if it worked, like throwing it, seeing if it sticks to the wall, and everything stuck. Stuck all the landings, and it's really kind of crazy to think about that all of this started less than a year ago, and it was a thought, it was a seed, it was like an idea, and that we have like actually executed, and we're getting ready to start our second year.
Our second year soon.
I don't know if our first year went according to plan. It actually didn't. I don't know that we had a proper plan.
Right. But the overall goal of our first year, we've met.
Yeah.
You know, like the key things that we wanted to accomplish, the main things that we wanted to do, we've been doing all of those things. It just kind of worked out in ways we didn't see and definitely didn't expect. But
all for the better, actually. Yeah. I think that initially my expectations were very ambitious and probably slightly unrealistic, maybe a little naive, but in working through the first year, we still came really close to everything that we set out to do. And the timeline changed a little bit, but that's okay.
And actually some of the things that we anticipated doing later, we started doing sooner. So I think having an ambitious timeline and goal from the beginning and working like we were gonna achieve it has helped us to actually accomplish things that we actually didn't expect so quickly.
We definitely had to pivot, I think several times, but the biggest pivot was before we even really started, because initially, in my mind, we were just gonna get money for this trailer and we were gonna be on the road and that was it, like that was all she wrote. Somebody was gonna write a big old check and it was gonna be that easy. I mean, I knew it was gonna take more than that. But the word that we kept hearing was traction. Like people wanted to see, like, it's a great idea, but you know, like, where's your skin in the game? What have you actually done? So that's why we started doing our pop-up markets. That was just to show proof of concept. And that turned out really great. People love it. And it's a core part of our business that we're gonna keep now. That whole 3-day weekend with our virtual farmers market, our in-person market, and our free produce giveaway. So that in itself was a pivot.
Yeah, and it started out like that was never part of the plan, and then we were like, how can we get all of the things we want to accomplish kind of in one? And now it is kind of like the core of Prosperity.Market.
The virtual market was a pivot also before we got started. We had all our pivots and concepts. You know, we were talking to somebody who was very COVID conscious, and they just asked, you know, what are you gonna do about COVID? And we had this conversation in probably December of 2020.
Yeah, November, December.
Yeah, and our first market was February. So in my mind,
what was your response to that?
In my naive mind, I'm just like, COVID will be gone by February. We'll be in the clear. But that conversation planted a seed, and it really got us to think about, okay, if by some rare chance COVID sticks around, how are we gonna handle it? So I think we approached it well with the virtual market.
Yeah. Some of our accomplishments, what would you say are some of our biggest accomplishments?
A big accomplishment for me, I think, was just pulling off the scavenger hunt that we did, the Black Business Scavenger Hunt, this month-long scavenger hunt, and we involved over 35 Black-owned businesses in LA. And each month we put out clues that led to different businesses, and participants could, find the businesses, and they won prizes. That was something I've been wanting to do. Like, before we had a name, before Prosperity.Market had a name, it was like Scavenger Hunt, Black Business Scavenger Hunt. It was like such an early idea, so to like see it actually happen and work out so well was like a big accomplishment for me.
For me, I would say one of our biggest accomplishments is our virtual market.
Yeah.
Like that we pulled that off. Shout out to Mallory and Anima Digital.
Oh my gosh.
Shout out to our everything web designer.
Yes.
Who is the backbone of everything we have online. But just the fact that we pulled that off, because we actually had no idea how to build that out. And she hadn't built something like that either. Like we asked a lot of her and she completely delivered. And then to see people who had no idea who we were, like come and shop with us online, I think was really, really an accomplishment.
Yeah. I think it was a big accomplishment to partner with Foot Locker.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we partnered with Foot Locker in March. This was only our second month being active, and we did a produce distribution with them at their location in Compton. And for us, that was really exciting because we're like brand new, and we have Foot Locker who saw value in what we're doing.
And also the first accomplishment was actually having our first market.
Yeah.
So just like the exhaustion after that first weekend was
so
real. But yeah.
What's funny, so after our market weekends, we always take that Monday off, and which we decided to do after that first market. 'Cause it took so much, it was just like draining, everything that had to go into planning that and all the nerves and just, What was the favorite thing we did this year for you?
My favorite thing we did this year? You know, I think honestly, like my favorite part about all of the things is the end of it. And not because
She's ready to sell the business and cash out.
No, like not because I'm like, ooh, it's done. But like being able to see like, oh, like we pulled this off. So like, you know, like when it's in motion or when we're like, oh my gosh, that was it. Like seeing how it all came together.
Yeah. Because it comes together.
It does. And sometimes it's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I honestly, like every single thing that we did was a different experience for me. And like somewhere along the middle or towards the end, for me, that's always the best part. Because it's like, this is it. Like we're in it now.
Yeah.
Like all of the late nights, all of the confusion, all of the like last minute changing things up. Like this is what it was for. Yeah. Not ready to cash out just yet.
Got to get that valuation
Right.
a little higher.
Yeah, you know, a little higher first.
Let's get the trailer first.
How about that?
Okay.
How about that? Okay, so what about you? What was your favorite thing we did this year?
Honestly, the scavenger hunt. Like
Yeah.
that was, I enjoyed that so much. Just being able to involve all of the different businesses. And everything that we do that just brings people together is my favorite thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So like, even the Easter egg hunt. We started out, the Easter egg hunt was like our testing of the scavenger hunt. We tested the concept. So we put Easter baskets in 4 stores. It was Soul Folks,
Simply Wholesome,
Hilltop, and
Hanks.
Hanks Mini Market. And we had eggs, Easter eggs in all of the stores, and all you had to do to get an Easter egg was make a purchase at the store, and the eggs all had prizes. They all had something from Black-owned businesses. So that was fun.
Yeah. I just really like people's reactions to things too. Like I will literally never forget when one of the coffee shop owners was like, you guys are just doing this because of kindness? Like, that's it? Just like, yeah, just because we want to and we want to amplify. So, yeah. Okay, so what would you say was the most difficult part of the year for you?
I would say the never-ending workload. Like, it never ends. As soon as you think, okay, we're done with the market, let's take Monday off, and then Tuesday is like, okay, the next market. It's just always the next thing.
Yeah.
It just moves so fast.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part for me.
I would probably agree. Like, starting all of this has really forced me to constantly look at new ways to balance what we do, because there's always something. There's nobody to hand it off to. There's no,
Don't you
I'll
wish?
check back in with you later. Yeah, so like, and just really remembering like, okay, wait, we have a lot of things to do, but like, we make the schedule. We get to say. And I think that has been the most difficult, like continually finding myself in the middle of that, because I'll sit at the computer all day and not remember I need things.
Yeah.
So I would definitely agree with that. What lessons have you learned this year?
So many. I think that entrepreneurship is like a mirror to yourself. So it shows you, it amplifies everything that you are. So it shows you the flaws, like big, it makes them, magnifying glass to them. And the same thing for your strengths. It really just amplifies your strengths too. So starting a business and running a business showed you yourself, where you can improve, where you're doing good, where you're, keep it up or knock it off. Words of wisdom. Keep it up or knock it off.
Keep it up or knock it off. I like that though. Like I definitely agree with that. Everything about this year and this business has been, I don't want to say challenges, full of opportunities for me to evaluate how I live my life and who I am. Yeah, and like for us and our partnership, like just, I talk to you more than anyone ever, at all, ever. Like we have to like deal with whatever we're dealing with individually and together, and then like navigating like how do we take our individual like strengths and weaknesses and balance them to create this business. So yeah, I think I would agree with that. Yeah, like I've learned what it takes to, no, I haven't learned it. I'm constantly looking at what it takes for me to be my best self as a partner and an entrepreneur. Constantly looking, and that can look different every day. Yeah. What would you like to see us do differently next year?
Next year, and I'm excited about this because we have this opportunity right now, is to get a head start, like lead time. This last year, we did so much, but it was just like, it was like a rat race, like it was just one thing to the next. So I'm very excited about, using an editorial calendar and working with quarters, like first quarter, third quarter. Like I'm very excited about that. Just like planning.
We can actually plan something rather than just say it, do it, done. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Differently next year. Definitely looking forward to the planning. Yeah. Definitely excited that we're able to do that. And honestly, going into next year, planning me better, planning my life better, like taking care of myself as well as the market and whatever that looks like. So that's something that I will do differently next year, like taking care of my life and myself. Like Prosperity's doing this and everything else is like, and I want everything to like be on the uptick. So that's what I'm gonna do differently next year.
What do they say? Up and to the right? Is that the saying?
It is. Yeah, that's it. That way.
Up and to the right.